Good morning, Kirsten. So I started today a little bit earlier, and thanks for coming. Are you content? Yeah, today's topic is be content. When I looking back my past, my childhood, I found I was very easy to be content as long as a food as a I have a food to eat, as a shelter to live. I was very easily content, even now. And this remind me a monk, Jing Kong, his Chinese name, a venerable monk, Jing Kong. He said, to be content with little. As human being, he said, a bowl of rice and a bed under the roof is enough. I quite agree with him. Look at now how many stuff we have. We're still not content. We always look for the next moment, next project to be content. You always want to have more. We came with nothing, and now we have so many things. And one day when we pass away, we cannot take anything along with us. Contentment has a deeper meaning. Contentment with what we have, with what we don't have. That's the superficial meaning, or one level of an understand to be content. Actually, we should be. The deeper meaning is that you are content with who you are. Again, who you are has different understandings. A worldly view will be your personality, your belongings, your family, your job, your background. That's the definition of who we are, right? But the deeper understanding of who I am is your true nature. Once we can find or recognize who we are, we must be content. Again, I repeat again, we are already complete and perfect. If we find that completeness and perfection, we must be content. So it's a natural, how to say, manifestation that we can be content at every moment, in every situation. Once you recognize who I am, or who we are, or who you are, you see, it always goes back to self realization. Once you reach there, you know you will naturally be content. We will naturally be loving, be kind, be helpful, or be helping. That's why awakening is so important. You don't rely any external um, educations or teachings or knowledge to be content. You are self content. Yeah, I know it's hard. Also, it manifests as a relaxation. You're always relaxed. You're not in a hurry. Even when I Google the be content, I there's a this page pops up. Be content with what you have. So maybe I can paste it here. It's some good contents here. So this page is an article by Marshall Siegel. Good guy. So contentment is not simply about settling for what we have, but trusting in what God has said. He's a Christian. He believes in God. Both anxiety and greed rise in our hearts as God's words fall. When the author of Hebrews wanted to teach his readers about contentment, he told them an old story with a familiar refrain. He quieted their fears and quenches their greed by reminding them what God has said. Quote, keep your life free from love of money and be content with what you have. For he has said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. God will never leave us and forsake us. God is our background. God makes us aware. Don't think God is a white beard guy, no, or is image in the church. God is my understanding is that is a cosmic intelligence that makes us aware or alive. God is the background or the ground of every life, every awareness. Every awareness is universal awareness. The moment we recognize we are the pure awareness, we recognize God. Do you follow? It resembles me that the Buddha's teaching too. Shin, we say the Dharma Dhatu or Buddha Dhatu. Buddha Dhatu or Buddha realm is everywhere. In every object you can see what you can, in everything you can see, hear, touch, smell, think, and taste. There's God inside. There's a Buddha in it. The modern science call it the universal unified field. In this very field, universal unified field, arise, all the objects, all the trees, nature, ocean, bird, dogs, all the living beings, including our body and mind. So once you recognize there's a field there in which arise all these phenomena world, and to which all these phenomena will disappear too, then you recognize your Buddha nature or God within. It's already perfect and complete because it makes every living being alive. It creates everything. It creates our body mind. And your mind creates a world. It's all included. It never leaves us and forsakes us. You see? Be content with what you have, for he has said, quote, I will never leave you and not forsake you. Or in other words, you cannot escape from heaven. We are right now in heaven only because our mind cannot recognize this. The individual unawakened mind cannot recognize this. That's a big problem. Or in Buddha's teaching, we call this ignorance, a fundamental ignorance, a primary ignorance that which leads to other secondary ignorances. Do you follow? It's like once you answer this question, all the questions will be answered. Once you figure out this problem or ignorance, every other problem will be resolved. That's why awakening is so important. But it's really hard to explain. Because it's the magnitude is so high that words cannot really fully, completely express it. Because it's the magnitude of power is so high. It contains infinite meaning, infinite applications. That's why words reach its limitless. It reaches limit when we talk about this God or nirvana or enlightenment. It's we as language we can only use anatomy or metaphors. We can only use metaphors to describe it, to point it. To give you the best metaphor here is we see space every time. We see the spacious space the moment we open our eyes. But we miss this space every second. Do you agree? Because our attention is always on the object in the space instead of space itself. It's so obvious to miss it. We're always aware of the contents, yet we miss the awareness itself. Do you follow? The very factor that you can be aware is the touching of the God's hand right this moment on every one of us. So again, once you can identify you are the pure awareness, you are very close to God. You are very close to heaven. Or in other words, once you identify you're the space instead of object in space, then you can be free from every object in the space. So in the same way, once you can identify your awareness itself instead of the contents in the awareness, then you have the chance to be free from contents of the awareness. What's the contents of awareness? Your family, your memory, your planning for the future, your job, your education, your background, your everything. Your everything is in your awareness right now. Yet you identify you are the contents of awareness. So that's the origin of the suffering. I want to decode the origin of suffering for you guys. Once you identify you are the contents of awareness, you suffer. In other words, on the opposite, once you can disidentify with the contents of awareness and identify with the awareness, you are liberated. You are free. So simple. So simple. But to realize this, it takes years of meditation, consistent learning, from all different masters, all the different lineages, Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, you name it. You have to consistent with the study, practice, knowledge of it, and meditate every day. Then you really realize it instead of a knowledge in your brain. You are already it. You just have to recognize it, realize it. That's all. In principle, it's so simple. In practice, it's so complicated. That's the most paradoxical thing. This illusion or ignorance has played tricks over billions of people. They don't get it. Most of don't get it. I didn't get it. Once we get it, wow, man, it's so simple. That's why in Zen Buddhism we have this sudden enlightenment. Wow. Yes, it's as simple as it is. But suddenly, or very free, how to say, this sudden enlightenment, like you like to pick the infinite sky, but very soon it be covered by these clouds again, clouds of mind, and you cannot see it again. And you need practice or meditate or knowledge from the masters to uncover that clouds of mind and see it again and recover again. So you have to this practice again, this covering and uncovering, covering and covering, discovery and Person, do you think it's helping for you? It's helpful. Do you have any questions? You see, yes, very much appreciated insights on contentment and cosmic intelligence. What makes you can type, can think, can respond to my question or to my question? Yes. There's a cosmic intelligence behind every one of us, behind you, to make you can think, can respond, can type, can send this message to me in chat, through internet, through computer or cell phone. All this stuff, all this stuff, there's a background behind all this stuff, and you are part of it. So the whole awakening is recognize you're beyond this body mind, especially when we are not awakened yet. There's a greater self, Brahman. There's ocean in each wave, in each bubble, in each ripple. There's ocean, an ocean that's invisible. I call it cosmic intelligence or universal unified field. Buddha call it Dhamma Dhatu. Christianity call it heaven. We just use different names here. So back to some practical techniques. Ask yourself a question. Am I aware? Yes, I am aware. Do you need a master to be aware? No, I am aware naturally. Do you need your parents to be aware? No. Can you be self-aware? Can you awareness be aware of the awareness? Yes, I am aware that I am aware. You see, back to the original technique here. This is fundamental. And next question could be, can you rest in this recognition of self-awareness? To be consistent or rest in this recognition, you have to drop everything. You have to drop every thought, past and future. You have to be in the present moment to answer this question, to be rested, to rest in the self-recognition. Make sense to you? So this is really, really important. And funny it is that once you can be self-aware, you are more aware. I use the more aware. I mean, it's a process of recognize your awareness. So I used to, you are more aware of something or the contents. Actually, it was like this, it is like this, it will be like this all the time. But it's like you first discover something, oh, there's something here. It's very interesting part. You discovered something that has been buried by the unawakened mind. Contentment with various distractions in the content of awareness. Once you can notice the distractions, you are okay. You are safe, meaning the awareness still there. Distraction here maybe means your attention is pulled away, right? Your attention is on one of the object of the contents. It's okay. Once you where your attention goes there, you can draw back your attention to be self-aware. So, but be clear here that if there's no awareness, there's no distraction. Make sense to you? So you see, awareness is always the boss, the foundation, the ground. Awareness is the ground of distraction, of disturbance, of anxiety, of stress, of depression. If there's no awareness, there's no such thing as stress, anxiety, depression, distraction. Make sense to you? Awareness is the origin of everything. No awareness, no experience, no memory, no plans for the future. Make sense to you? So if you can always stick to or rest in the awareness, in Chinese we say 保任. Rest in the self-recognition is essential. Is a shortcut too. Instead of meditate on one object, like your breath, like looking at Buddha's image, you are resting in your self-recognition. That's the shortcut. That's the most fundamental technique. It's the number one technique of all the techniques. Again, Ouroboros, a dragon or snake that bites its own tail. And only as human being we have this capability. And this is the foundation of awakening. This is the milestone of awakening. This is the door of awakening, the key of awakening. You open the door of enlightenment, and also it's the baseline of awakening. It's the bottom line of the awakening, meaning there's no top line. starting from this point. As a human being, you have infinite potentials. Once you reach this bottom line, again, you can be self-aware. You're content, you're relaxed, you are clear, you are stable, you are wise, you are loving, you are helping, you are everything at this moment, because you reach the region of everything. You reach the source of everything. Then you can manifest as you want. And this field is beyond birth and death. This field is beyond duality. You will understand every sage's teaching from this point. It's so clear to you. It's self-knowing. Once you can self-knowing, once you're standing on the ground of self-awareness, it's like the flying disc of an engine. You have that momentum ready. You will start to learn everything. You will start to walk by yourself, learn by yourself, love by yourself, help by yourself. It's all self-driven or driven. The flying disc is so fast and has with huge momentum now. It's always non-stopping now. You are safe. You reached the other shore. The other shore is here and now. So the language has its limit here. The other shore is here and now. You discover the permanence in all the impermanence. You discovered the immortality in mortalities. Among mortalities. You discover the unconditional love in all the conditioning circumstances. In all the conditioned circumstances, you can find extraordinary or discover extraordinary in every ordinary stuff. I'm telling you, my friend, that's my realization. That's the purpose of life. So are you aware? Are you self-aware? Are you content? Are you relaxed? Are you aware that you're aware? That's the fundamental question. It's the shortcut again. It's the number one technique of all the techniques. Most of the time we lose this self-recognition in thinking. It seems we lose it because we are so attached to the thinking process, to the memory, to the situation. We lose this self-recognition. But funny is this, the more you recognize your awareness, the more you can use the thoughts, use the memory, use the planning, for the future, instead of be disturbed by them, be distracted, be pulled away. You transcend all this stuff. That's the beauty as a human being. We are so lucky and blessed. Crazy. Okay, I think with this being said, we come to the end of this session. Kirsten, are you aware that you're aware? Bye now.